back to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10. Touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Goal! Go to the deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
And another wonderful evening for American Legion baseball. Welcome to Andover High School. You see the beautiful Andover High School there in the background as we're getting ready for Legion baseball here tonight, as Andover Legion hosting the Blaine Lino Lakes Legion, post number 566. Along with Joe Rulin, I'm Jim Erickson. Joe, you and I must have done such a great job on Tuesday. They brought us back here tonight for this one 2 nights later.
Yeah, nice as twice, and good to be back out. Some great weather this evening as well, as everyone gets ready for that turn the corner, flip the lineup for the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, temperatures in the 80s, mid-80s here. We'll get you a game time temperature here shortly. A little bit of wind, maybe more wind than we had on Tuesday. Less haze and cloud cover than we had Tuesday. The sun is shining. Blaine Lino Lakes coming off a trip up to Duluth. It was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday tournament. They got rained out Wednesday for the final rounds. They ended up going 1-2 up there. Meanwhile, for Andover, they've dropped their last two. The game that we had on Tuesday against Champlin here on QCTV, that was a 12-3 loss, as seen and heard right here. And then last night they went to St. Michael against St. Michael Blue and lost to St. Michael Albertville, a team that had a great high school season. That was a 9-5 final last night. So here for Andover tonight, it's Blaine Lino Lakes, Joe.
That it is, and as you mentioned before, Blaine comes in with an overall record of 3-7, 2-5 in conference play, under the direction of Tom Zenzelmeyer in his second season as the head coach for the Legion squad, a squad that has about 2 players that played on the varsity this season, but looking forward to watching them play, especially on the mound tonight. Braylon Almberg, and of course the number 4 hitter, Lucas Godfrey, leading this Blaine squad with an average of 379. Meanwhile,
you see their lineup there: Plankers, Herrick, Almberg, Godfrey, Richmond, Barsness, Burnett, Reimringer, and Laragi batting 9th. They're going to face Grant Peary, who will get the start, the left-hander for Andover. 0-0 on the season, 4.67 ERA, 6 innings pitched, 6 runs given up for Grant, 4 earned runs. He's given up 7 hits, struck out 8, and has walked 4. And he'll see this Blaine lineup. And out in the field here for Andover, you see in the infield Bauman, Lindgren, Frowley, who was originally at second base, and who is at second base?
That's going to be Butler at second base. Yeah,
Butler at second. Schrepfer is at first, and then Fogarty, Squire, and Eckes left to right in the outfield for Andover. And Teddy Heller, who was in center, made a dazzling turnaround catch on Wednesday. He finds himself behind the plate tonight for Grant Peary as Matthew Plankers leads off. First pitch swinging, it's popped up. Right side of the infield, and there is Butler. 1 pitch, 1 out. We're underway here in the top of the first inning.
Grip and rip for Plankers there, and you're going to see a lot of probably breaking pitches off speed here from Peary. The southpaw throws a pretty good breaking pitch from that left side, so you get a look at that, and you'll also see probably a lot of balls in play.
Elijah Herrick now will bat, 296 average, 8 hits, 27 at bats, 4 runs batted in. Lefty against lefty here. And the pitch is up and in. 2 balls and no strikes.
Elijah, one of those 2 players on the squad that played varsity for Blaine.
2 balls and 1 strike.
We get a look here, and
Herrick steps back in. Playing at third base today for Blaine. That pitch is up high. 3-1. Almberg, the number 3 hitter, due up. As a team, Blaine hitting .242. They will next play after the 4th against Anoka. It's a 3-1 pitch that misses. And Herrick is on, and Blaine Lino Lakes has their first base runner. One down, nobody on in the top of the first inning. And here's Braylon Almberg doing the pitching here tonight, hitting .333, 3 hits, 9 at-bats, 3 runs batted in.
Yeah, not a whole lot of plate appearances, but 13 for the season. Let's see if he can take advantage of some time in the box.
Peary pitch down low, 1-0. With the wind here and just the overall dryness we have had, going to see some dust get kicked up here. Luckily for us, the wind is blowing away from our broadcast perch. Thank goodness.
Oof.
Fouled off the mask of our home plate catcher. He's okay. Home plate umpire getting it off the mask. It's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, that'll shock the Chicklets a bit. Either that or put them back in place.
Just cleans up the cobwebs a little bit.
And,
really is all that does.
Hey, when you got the wind throwing at you, that's a pitcher.
1 ball, 1 strike.
You get a lot of movement.
Herrick holding over at first. He's going to go, and it's in the dirt. It's going to get away from Heller behind the plate, bounce off to his left. We'll give him a stolen base. He was off with the pitch, and ends up being a ball here to Almberg, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Top of the first here, Blaine Lionel Lake starting this one out.
Yep, you could see that he took his eyes off the target, threw it in the dirt just as soon as that runner cut, tried to make a quick adjustment.
2-1, Peary to the pitch, and he's able to find the outside part of the plate with a curveball. Evens the count 2-2. When these teams played last year, Andover won 11-1 on June 21st of last summer. Last year's Summer Legion season. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Peary fakes the throw to second. Herrick frantically getting back.
And you know those lefties.
Swing and a miss on the
Look at
2-2 pitch, and Almberg down swinging, 2 down.
Lefties often get the title of crafty, don't they?
Yes.
And that's a common term. And when you have the wind that you're throwing into the wind as a pitcher, sometimes I would always use that as a great way to get more movement on the pitches, especially the off-speed. But he's got a good one he's facing here.
Godfrey, first pitch swinging here. A little looper to right center. Better hit than we thought. Diving attempt by Squire. It's going to land in for a hit. It's going to be a double and an RBI for Lucas Godfrey. 1-0 Blaine Lionel Lakes. Great effort by Squire in center. Diving as that ball was obviously tailing away from him, Joe. And he almost got a glove on it.
Yeah, Godfrey came into that at bat hitting .379, and now he leads the team with 10 RBIs for Lucas. And he kind of was looking for the one pitch, and he got it. First pitch, and drove that to the gap.
Yeah, Godfrey, as you mentioned, .379, tops in the team. Alberg .333, Burley .308, and Richmond .308. The hitters here for Blaine hitting above .300 entering the game here tonight. The batter is Michael Richmond. First pitch is strike, second pitch is up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rather different lineup here for Andover. Number of players that were here on Tuesday unavailable. Other things going on. 4th of July coming up. No Abbas, no Kelly. So they're running with basically the skeleton crew here tonight.
That they are, and of course center fielder.
And no head coach John Heath either.
Yep, correct.
He wasn't unable to make it to the game here. So the youngster Nolan Belschner filling in for him.
Correct.
A baptism by fire, taking over the head coaching duties here in the game today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second. Run in here for Blaine Lionel Lakes. Peary checks the runner at second to the plate. Bounced left side of the infield, and that's going to get past Bauman. Lindgren also had a bounce past him. Everybody's going to be safe. Runner at the corners, 2 down.
Trying to cut that off at third. There was Andover, but couldn't quite get it. And that pitch had some great movement on it. You could see the tail and the movement on that pitch by Peary just before contact. But that'll be a base hit. Is that what we're ruling at, Jim?
I was going to give it an air.
Okay, I'm good.
So 1st and 3rd, 6th batter of the inning here. Barsness pulls it foul. Left side, Torrey Barsness at second base here for Blaine tonight. 1 strike count to Barsness, a .278 hitter. 5 hits, 18 at bats, 4 runs batted in. This Blaine team does not have a home run on the season. They do have 1 triple, and they added to their double total here in this one. Runner goes, and it'll be defensive indifference. It's a called strike. no balls and 2 strikes. That was the 11th double on the season, that Lucas Godfrey double that knocked in the run that made it 1-0. 0-2 pitch. In the air to left. Keegan Fogarty is going to have to let it bounce in front of him. That'll score a run. Here comes the throw. The tag at home is in time.
Wow, good play by Heller.
So Richmond scores. It'll be an RBI bloop base hit by Barsness, give him an RBI, but then the final out of the inning is at home plate here in the top of the first inning. So Blaine gets 2 runs on 3 hits. Check that, 2 hits with an error, and they'll leave a runner on, and we'll go to the bottom of the first inning. And Blaine Lino Lakes takes an early 2-0 lead.
Well, there you saw the throw again. That came from Keegan Fogarty in left field. Came in charging. 1 additional run scored for Blaine. But the second run, the runner was gunned down. Nice tag by Teddy.
Yeah, Richmond thrown out.
When in doubt, you kind of go to that point of the base. And that's what Teddy did to get the tag and the foot before it crossed. So 2-0 deficit for Andover. They'll need to overcome that as they come to bat here in the top half of the first.
Let's take a look at that lineup for Andover and their coach here tonight, Nolan Belschner, sitting in for Coach John Heath. Heller, Winters, Boynton, Peary, Squire, Lindgren, Bauman, Eckes, Schrepfer, and Butler. 1 through 9. Here tonight for Andover. Keegan Fogarty is in left field and is being hit for by the DH tonight. And they will face Braylon Almberg, 1-0 on the season. The right-hander here for Blaine Lino Lakes, a 4.20 ERA. 10 innings pitched coming in, 14 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned. He's walked 4 and he's struck out 9. This is his 3rd start and 3rd appearance. And as a pitcher on the road, you get to take the mound in the bottom of the first inning. You got a 2-0 lead. That's a nice way to start.
That it is. And here you got to look at the defensive set. The difference for that is Plankers is now at shortstop, as Burley was a late cancel. And he was scheduled to play shortstop and Plankers in center field. But in center field will be Godfrey.
So 2-0 Blaine Lino Lakes, Andover, bottom of the first, and Teddy Heller pulls it foul. It's Heller, Winters, Boynton, and Peary here.
Had a chance to speak with the assistant coach, Dylan Wilson, in his 2nd year as an assistant. Wilson also plays some hard ball up at Minnesota Duluth as well. A pitcher up there.
Pitch up and away here to Teddy Heller,
Says
who was in center field on Tuesday. He made that turnaround. He took a step in on a high fly ball to medium deep center field. And he takes on the outside corner here. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's been a busy week for Teddy. I understood
actually.
He just caught a couple of touchdown passes, and they're 7-on-7.
Ooh.
That was going, was that a couple of days
There's
ago?
There's a called strike 3. Breaking ball from Braylon Almberg, and Heller down looking, 1 out.
That it was. And so, as we mentioned with Dylan Wilson, the assistant coach said, hey, you know what, Almberg, he can bring some gas, but he's also got a pretty good slider as well, something to watch out for as he's been developing that.
Doing the DHing, Aiden Winters Boynton steps to the plate, big right-handed hitter, and he takes outside. Ball 1. Andover falling last night. St. Michael Blue at St. Michael, 9-5. 12-3 loss here on Tuesday to Champlin. And they're now 3-10 and 2-5 in the North Hennepin League. Count is even now here to Winters Boynton on a strike on the 2nd pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Peary on deck. Curve ball from Almberg pulled foul. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Mixing up the pitches. And meanwhile, we heard from Coach Belchner before the game that Hunter Besky made a fantastic catch. He thought one of the best catches of the year in center field at St. Michael Albertville, but injured himself. Took a hard shot
into the fence, it sounds like. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we've had 3 different center fielders the last 3 games for Andover. Heller, Besky, and now here tonight it's Godfrey because of the injury. As actually Godfrey's for center field for the Blaine Lino Lakes. Squires in center for Andover tonight. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Winters Boynton trying to get on base here with 1 down. The base is empty in the bottom of the first, and he thought he had ball 4, and instead he gets rung up. goes down looking. 2 up, 2 down. Couple of strikeouts, called strikeouts here for Braylon Almberg. 2 down.
Came in with 9 strikeouts his first 2 hitters. A strikeout, so 11 so far here on the season. And 2 outs.
And stepping to the plate, number 11 for Andover, Grant Peary. Doing the pitching today, and he lifts the first pitch up in the air. Infield, second baseman Borsness will have it. And Almberg retires Andover 1-2-3, a 3 up, 3 down bottom of the first. We played 1, and sunny Andover, 86 degrees. Here to start out this one, we played 1, and it's 2-0. Blaine, Lina Lakes on QCTV Sports. Bring your dog to the game night here tonight. I don't think that's ever an official promotion. You can just bring your dog whenever.
That kind of sounds like a country western song. Bring your
be.
dog
Not
to the
enough.
night.
There's got to be more things in there.
That's got to be a few other things
something
going.
More about pickup trucks and going to prison and trains and trucks and other things that we don't want to mention. Let's go to the top of the second inning, bottom third of the order. Here for Blaine, Lina Lakes, 3-7 on the season. Seth Burnett, Skylar Reimringer, and Caden Lawagi due up here, bottom third of the order. Blaine had a nice top of the first, getting a walk, then a double, then an error, and then a single. Runs knocked in by Godfrey and Barsness, giving them that 2-0 lead, and that's where we're at here in the top of the second inning against Peary. This one's lined fair between Bauman and the bag at third, and it'll be a leadoff hit on a pitch here for Seth Burnett. Third hit of the game for Blaine, Lina Lakes.
And you get a look here now to getting the bat head out on that off-speed pitch.
Burnett coming in hitting 160, 4 hits, 25 at bats, getting his 5th hit of the season there. And now here's Reimringer stepping in, hitting 074. They got the runner caught between first and second, and a good pickoff here by Andover, and they'll get the out. Burnett is thrown out. Technically a caught stealing, 1 down, just like that. He's erased.
Well, you know what? If there's one thing as in coaching, and you look at a left-handed pitcher, if they jump on your first couple of times around the base, you are definitely watching them close.
Another well-hit ball again between the bag and Bauman. This time a little deeper down the line. Fogarty over to get it. And it's back-to-back hits now. 1 out, 1 on after the caught stealing. And the number 9 hitter, Caden Lawagi.
Yeah.
Here for Blaine, Lina Lakes.
Reimringer, of course, just hitting south of 100. Will take that hit. Got his, again, another case of an off-speed pitch. Got the bat head out in front and drove it down the third base line.
Lawagi 273, 3 hits, 11 at bats. Couple of runs batted in. Bats with the runner at first and 1 down. The number 9 hitter in this lineup for Coach Tom Zinzelmeyer in his second season. Laid down the bunt, popped up off the ground, and big hop on that, caught by the catcher, but it's foul. 1 strike here to Lawagi.
.429 on base percentage for Lawagi.
You like to see that at number 9.
Yep.
You know, a lot of teams like to have that number 9 guy as another leadoff guy. A guy
Oh,
who
absolutely.
can get on base any way and have some speed. And there's that toss to first. Reimringer over there down a real big lead. Holding with him is Schrepfer. Bryce Schrepfer getting that start at first base here tonight for the Andover Legion.
But it's important. I agree that number 9 hitter, it can't be that easy out. You got to have the mindset that you're the second leadoff hitter. Try to find it, have a good at bat.
1 strike offering high.
See some of those pitches because, hey, as a number 9 hitter, now you get some feedback from the previous 8 hitters. What have they seen? Picking up tendencies. Also picking up the depth of the grass.
1-1. Popped up right side, and that'll be out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, I mean, and the grass has been pretty thick. Keeping it, as we talked about on Tuesday, we had a rather long discussion about the
No pun intended.
yes,
About the long grass.
yeah, got to keep it long in drought, dry conditions. Let it grow a little bit longer, even though you're watering it. Don't stress it out too much. The other thing that I got from the broadcast on Tuesday: how did you score a gymnast?
How did I score a gymnast?
Yeah, you said your wife was a gymnast.
Correct.
How did you do that?
Luck of the,
Just luck of the draw.
even
you
a
just
broken
happened to
clock
be
is
at-
right twice
just
a
happened
day.
to be at the meet, and the
Yeah.
and the balance beam broke down.
Yeah,
You're there to
we
fix
met
it,
after
and it was
her
kind of the
days.
hero thing.
Yeah.
Is,
Jack's in the Hall of Fame.
I missed that, and I was listening to the broadcast. That was a nice tidbit in that game.
See that? Yeah, you'll find her in the Hall of Fame at the University of Minnesota.
I think my wife played
Ness.
church softball, so there's that. 2 balls and 2 strikes, I think, is the count here to Milwaukee. Plankers on deck, top of the order on deck here for Blaine Lionel Lakes, leading at 2-0.
Getting ready to flip the lineup early here in that second.
Peary to the bell. Here's his 2-2. Off the handle, slow roller to short. Lindgren's going to have to hustle. He's got 1 play to first. Got him. Close play, but Milwaukee is out. He does get the runner to second base in scoring position now with 2 down.
It's a nice play by Lindgren at short, considering the fact he's got to come charging in, slow roller, longer grass, and trying to come up clean with the ball. He did, got the quick glove work and a release on the throw to get the runner by maybe a quarter of a step.
And now here's Plankers. Popped out on the first pitch of the game to the second baseman. He takes a nice curveball here from Peary as he sneaks it on the back door. It's 1 strike here to Plankers. Plankers, 278 hitter, entering the game. 4 runs batted in. Fights this one off to shallow center, and on the run making the catch is Squire. So Squire tracks it down. Blaine Lionel Lakes held off the board here in the top of the second inning. No runs, couple of hits, and they leave a runner on. Bottom of the second coming up, still 2-0 Blaine Lionel Lakes.
Well, I'll tell you, they had a chance to jump out early after the initial base hit by Burnett, but he was picked off, and that kind of stymied the momentum for the remainder of that the inning for Blaine. Let's see what they can do here defensively as they bring the troops back out, and the Huskies get another look at Braylon Amberg. Came in with, as you mentioned, Jim, he's now got 11 official innings pitched, 1-0 as a starter. Just 4 walks, 11 strikeouts, and that ERA of 4.20. This, I call it Blaine Lionel Lakes American Legion team, because we had looked and thought Ham Lake.
Yeah, there's some
just the other
things
night,
have them
so-
listed as Ham Lake. Somewhere,
Correct.
some place it was listed as Ham Lake. I don't know if does Ham Lake have their own team. You know, there is the Ham Lake Legion up there on Highway 65. I believe that's still there. Is it off of Constance or Crosstown? One of
Right.
those cross streets and roads that run east and west across Highway 65. But we digress as we go here to the bottom of the second inning. And Andover will come up with Luke Squire, Reed Lindgren, and Matthew Bauman. Now, Andover itself as a town does not have an American Legion post. So they are
Correct.
sponsored, I believe, by Minneapolis or the Minneapolis Governing Board or something like that, looking at the Legion Baseball website. And we talked about that on Tuesday. It's nice that towns can have these summer
Yeah.
legions, senior legions, teams, and VFW teams for that matter. Even in an instance, if they're city, town, burb, whatever, they don't have an actual brick and mortar Legion post. 2 balls and no strikes here to Lucas Squire, the center fielder, batting 4th. Andover went 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the first. Off the end of the bat, the right side, it'll be foul.
Squire hitting about 400 on the season, approximate. Gets that bat on the ball, and again, about 27 at bats so far here this summer.
2 balls and 1 strike to him with Lindgren on deck. Then followed by Bauman. The Olmberg delivery again off the end of the bat and again off to the right.
A little spinner or slider on that one. I asked Dylan Wilson if it's a sweeper. He says, no, not quite. Not quite a sweeper. Sticks with the slider. Gets some late break
2 balls and 2 strikes. This time it's a curveball, and it's off of Almberg. Bounces to the shortstop. Does he have time? Big stretch, but not in time. That'll be an infield hit. Nice stretch by Burnett over at first, trying to get the out, but it was off the leg of Almberg and an infield hit here for Squire and Andover as their first base runner and first hit of the game.
Blankers also stuck with it. He was right there, got a nice little bounce coming back up around the shin, clean, and throw just not in time, but you could see that pitch by Almberg kind of left up around the letters.
Looks like Almberg is okay. He's not shaking anything off. It did hit him on the leg, but he's okay as Reed Lindgren, the shortstop, bats now. Toss over to first. Burnett holding with Squire. Squire pitched in our game on Tuesday as Andover fell to a very good Champlin team, 12-3. Almberg, first offering here to Lindgren is low. Ball 1. You know, Champlin Park, Champlin Legion, a lot of their high school players from last year, some seniors played, some all-league, all-conference, all-metro guys. Same thing with Maple Grove, and there's some other teams that have some really good summer teams. You know, some programs, they have different scenarios, Joe. Some of them are going young. A lot of their seniors that have graduated, they don't come back. They move on with their lives. They do other things in the summer. They're looking ahead to college. But then you had other programs that will have a lot of players on good high school teams come back and play in summer. And it's just, you know, it's just a different philosophy here during that time. And that sometimes results in lopsided games.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, when I played Legion, we had 2 players who had finished their freshman year of college.
Yeah, and they were still age appropriate.
Correct.
They were still age eligible. Yes, you see that often too. I've seen that many times in following Legion baseball here for 33 years. There's a called strike.
Tight spinner that time.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
He's got a great breaking pitch. It's very active. Let's see if he wants to come back to it here.
2-2.
Goes
and
with the heat.
Fastball on the off the outside corner, just missed.
That's a tough pitch to lay off.
3-2.
So yeah, we ended up as state that year, in Ely and Babbitt, where the state tournament was.
Way
for
up
Legion.
there. 3 balls and 2 strikes, tossed to first, and
That
again
was a
Squire
haul
gets back
from Southwest Minnesota.
Oh yeah, that's a 2-day
One-
trip practically.
And they wouldn't give us a Sherpa, but it was a good trip up.
Time called.
But yeah, you happen to see, just the level of talent that was playing that year, and the guys who actually either played minor league ball off of that team. Was a total
Payoff
of 5.
pitch,
Oh,
fouled. Back to the screen, just getting a piece of it. Lindgren to stay alive, and it'll stay 3 balls and 2 strikes. Teams will get some time off here for the 4th of July holiday. Andover won't play again until July 6th at Westfall Armstrong. Same thing with Blaine. They won't play until after the 4th. There's a swing and a miss on 3-2. Lindgren down. 3rd strikeout here for Braylon Almberg. Came in with 9. Now give him 12. First out of the inning. Squire remains at first. It'll bring up Bauman.
good battle that time by Lindgren. In fact, just his 6th strikeout here this season, and about 26 at bats for him. Good battle. Sometimes that algorithm comes out in favor of the hitter. A lot of foul balls, stays alive, but not this time.
Pitch to Bauman in the dirt, backhanded by Reimringer, the catcher, ball 1. And a quick toss over to first. They're really keeping an eye there on Squire.
I'm sure Bauman appreciates these at-bats as well. Kind of limited to start the season, but you just want to see and get some at-bats. So much different game time.
Hit in the inning, Squire let it off. He's over at first, held there by Burnett. The 1-ball pitch lined over to the third baseman, Herrick. Throw to first, and it is in time for a catch and throw out double play. And that ends the inning here for Andover. Right on the nose at Herrick. And he gets Squire before he got back to first. And here in the bottom of the 2nd, no runs, 1 hit, nobody left on. 2 innings here as we go to the 3rd. Blaine, Lino Lakes 2 and Andover nothing.
I got to check on my cell phone. I usually have it always with me.
History at Post Nightclub in Orlando.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved. If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff, like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Baseball fans enjoying beautiful weather here tonight in Andover, along with Joe Rulin. I'm Jim Erickson. Let's go back to the last inning, and here is that double play. Line out to third, and then close play. Nice stretch over there. Burnett is not afraid to stretch. And a close play at first, double play awarded, and that ends the inning as we go to the top of the third here for Blaine Lionel Lakes. And Elijah Herrick. Walk back in the first, leads it off. Lefty against lefty here in this leadoff matchup in the third. And on the 1-0 pitch, across by Peary, 1 ball, 1 strike. Mentioned Herrick walked in that first inning, hitting just under 300, 296. Oh, what a curveball by Peary. He had Herrick ducking. And that one dances across, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Herrick, Almberg, and Godfrey for Blaine Lionel Lakes. The Peary pitch just below the knees. Good eye by the batter Herrick, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2, nobody out, nobody on. Here comes the Grant Peary 2-2 pitch. Left-hander delivers. Popped up right side. That'll be foul. It'll find the seats. Right along here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blaine Lionel Lakes as a team hitting .242 entering the game tonight. 2-2 again coming to the plate. That is a breaking ball. That is across the plate for a called strike 3. Peary had Herrick a couple of times frozen. And that time again with the slider, came across with it, 1 down. Second strikeout here for Peary. And Almberg, who struck out back in the first, steps in here for Blaine Lionel Lakes. First pitch outside, 1-0. Blaine scored 2 of the first. They threatened. They had a runner on and runner as far as second in the second inning. Shows bunt, and that's towards our cameraman over there. I think he said he got it at one point in time. He called for it, but realized it was a little bit too high. And, of course, the camera comes first. If he makes that catch, I'm getting him a Chick-fil-A gift certificate. Pitch is up high. Now 2 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, any cameraman, that's my offer. Any cameraman or person or camera gal, camera woman, camera person on our staff, if you catch a ball in the air while working your camera, that's a Chick-fil-A gift card for, I would imagine, a combo meal, drink, and a dessert of your choice. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another breaking ball. Boy, that one dropped off the table. And a swing and a miss here by Almberg. Boy, a couple of great at-bats here for Grant Peary. 2 up, 2 down this inning with 2 strikeouts. 1 looking, and then that one, that breaking ball. Look at it here on the replay. Here it comes in, 12-6.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, and 2 down and nobody on for Lucas Godfrey.
But you know what I like about that pitch and the technique? I know we're talking about a lot, but that arm slot in kind of that L position, you can really pull down on that 12-6 and get some movement.
2 balls and no strikes. First pitch is a miss here for Lucas Godfrey, who doubled in a run for his 10th run batted in of the season. Team leading back in the first here for Blaine Lionel Lakes. Fouls the 2-0 pitch back, and it's 2-1. If Godfrey can get on, Michael Richmond would bat next.
These Blaine Lionel Lakes team made up of 3 sophomores, 9 juniors, and 1 senior.
Just below the knees, 3-1. Now, are those the years in school that they're going to be,
Correct.
or the years that
nope,
they
that's
were?
the years
okay.
they're going to be.
All right. You always got to make sure that
the summer's tricky.
you delineate that here in the summer season. And there's a called strike. And that'll fill the count at 3-2. Godfrey thought he'd already tossed the bat. He thought he had a free pass. But instead, he's coming back. And the count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, and the base is empty. There's the ball. Ball 4.
That one may have broken around the plate in an attempt at pulling the string and bringing it in the back door.
Godfrey walks. Second walk given up in the game here by Peary. And that'll give Michael Richmond a chance to bat here with 2 down. The number 5 hitter here for Blaine Lina Lakes. One of those hitters hitting over 300 entering the game tonight. 308. Reached on an error back in the first. Puts this one on the ground to short. Lindgren backhands it. Long throw in the dirt, knocked down. But Schrepfer over there can't come up with it.
I thought he was there anyway.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a hit. It was deep in the hole, backhand. Good speed down the line shown there by Michael Richmond. We'll give him an infield hit there. So hit number 5 in the game for Blaine Lina Lakes, and they got a little something going on here with 2 outs, first and second.
They do, especially with a 278 hitter stepping in. Yep, I could see he was safe just as the ball hit the glove of Schrepfer.
Barsness swings through a Peary pitch, 1 strike. Barsness single and an RBI, his 5th of the season in the first inning. Coming in hitting 278, trying to get up close to 300. 1 strike to him, 2 down. Again, Peary still just 1 out away. Pulled the string there, and Barsness out in front, 0-2. Off-speed breaking ball, and Barsness timing way out on the front foot, 0-2.
Yep, I mean, he's got a couple of different gears with those 2 different breaking pitches. So you might think it's a 12-6 coming, but he's got a different release and almost kind of like a yak pitch.
0-2. Comes again with it on the ground again to the left side. Third baseman Bauman with an opportunity. Up with it cleanly over to first. And Blaine Lina Lakes down here in the top of the third. No run, a hit, and they leave a couple on. So go to the bottom of the third. Still Blaine Lina Lakes a 2-0 lead.
Well, when your pitcher is, it doesn't have to be overpowering, but breaking pitches around the plate, different speeds, different levels, and you're seeing he's doing his job right now. He's inducing ground balls, and with this turf and everything else, that's a good thing. It'll slow it down, keep it rocking, and that's what you want to see if you're, I hate to call it a pitch to contact type of pitcher, but around the plate, be around, surprise them, different locations.
We're calling our temperature right now. We're calling it 90 degrees. My phone had 88.
But it's not very humid.
No.
90 degrees.
It's very
nice.
Pleasant, very pleasant. With
doesn't
a slight
feel
breeze. 90. Picks up at times nearing 15 miles an hour out of the west.
Now my hamstring, that feels like 90.
Yes, and we've had some heat here this summer so far, but we haven't had the humidity. The dew points have not been as high. We've had a couple of somewhat uncomfortable days, but nothing has been oppressive. We haven't had to worry. Have you even heard the term heat index or heat indices yet? No. So it has not been that bad. As we're at 90 degrees right now, and we move on to the bottom of the third inning for Andover, looking for a run here down by a score of 2-0. It'll be the bottom third of their order. Deacon Eckes, Bryce Schepfer, and Kellen Butler. Facing Braylon Almberg. Almberg's first pitch. He breaks one off and hits the outside corner for a strike here to Eckes. 0-1 to Eckes. Deacon is out in right field tonight for Andover. The 1-strike pitch comes with a fastball, and that's a strike, and he's quickly ahead.
Yeah, Almberg's doing a really nice job of mixing it up. Fastball with conviction. A good slider.
Gotta have conviction.
Gotta have it.
No balls, 2 strikes, and
Wow.
that's a 3-pitch strikeout. Curveball, fastball, then he comes back with a breaking ball. And Eckes down looking, strikeout number 4 for Almberg, 1 down.
And you know the one thing, when you stay on top of that ball, you get command on those pitches, and you have more control. And that was just an outstanding pitch series that time by Almberg.
Bryce Schrepfer, first pitch swinging, couple of hops to short. Plankers up with it, 2 down.
Plankers, nice in between the second and third hop there, getting the footwork over. Good clean glove and the throw. to get him by a couple steps.
That'll leave it up to Kellen Butler, batting number 9 in the Andover lineup. Again, John Heath, usual head coach, normal head coach, 6th-year head coach for Andover Legion. Unable to be here tonight, so Nolan Belschner is operating as a head coach, the interim head coach, I guess you could call him here today, having to deal with some lineup changes at the last minute, and just part of being a coach during summer ball, really.
And a chance for him maybe to pick up that first career win.
That, now that would be cool. 1-ball pitch going the other way, slicing in towards Luwagi, and he's right there and makes the catch. So Butler did a nice job going the other way, but he sliced it right into the glove of Luwagi out in left, and it's the second 1-2-3 inning out of the first 3 here for Braylon Almberg as Andover goes down in order. In the bottom of the 3rd, we played 3, and we're already quickly to the 4th, 2-0, Blaine Lina Lakes.
They are experiencing homelessness. Understanding is the key to the solution. You can help them by giving them the benefit of the doubt, asking them what they need and how you can help them, acknowledging that you see them by sharing a smile. These little things go a long way to be seen and felt understood. They are part of our community and we are part of theirs. Homelessness will not go away without your help. To get help or to give help, visit our website.
Checking out the shoe wear, footwear. What kind of shoe game do the Andover Legion players have? Looks pretty good from here.
I'm having a tough time seeing it. That's why I got up to stand a bit.
Very stylish.
So I could see the angle here.
As we go to the top of the 4th, this game moving right along, and for Blaine Lina Lakes will be the bottom 3rd of their order. Seth Burnett, Skylar Reimringer, and Caden Luwagi. Bottom 3rd of the order came up in the 2nd inning as well. Each of the first 3 innings, the first 2 innings, both 1st and 3rd. Here for Blaine Lina Lakes, Torrey Borsness was the final out, or at least the final at-bat. Remember, in the 1st inning, Borsness was at the plate, knocked a run in, but then the final out was recorded at 3rd. As they'll pop up in the infield, 3rd baseman Bauman calls off Lindgren. 1 up, 1 down.
Well, Peary is throwing what appears to be almost effortless, right? Just good technique. I know I mentioned that a lot, but when you have that good technique in place, and you finish, you extend, you deaccelerate and make it easy coming through, and you get
Does
a lot
he
of
also
movement.
have conviction?
He's going to have some command and conviction.
Yes, the 2 C's.
He leads the team in convictions. Off of the pitch. Pitches with convictions.
A different meaning for the term.
I might get a call from Paul Young, county attorney, on that one. But
1 strike, it's down low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Alleged.
Yeah. Quasi
yes.
Conviction on those. But when you watch the pitches, it's not the velo as it is so much the movement and the spike down.
And the changing of speeds, too, a little bit as well.
I can tell you the one thing that people underestimate is the follow-through of a pitcher. So when when your kids and everything else, they throw it and they stop. No deacceleration, and it's that follow-through.
Swing and a miss, but a foul at the plate, and it's 1-2. Reimringer batting, he's singled, has one of the 5 hits for Blaine Lina Lakes tonight. Singled and was stranded back in the 2nd inning. And Peary is ahead of him here, 1 ball and 2 strikes. But just missed getting the strikeout there.
He did.
Here he comes back with the 1-2. The left-hander delivers, tried to sneak the curveball over on the back door, and it misses 2-2.
A little slow and slower on those breaking pitches. Harder you throw it, probably the less break you will get.
2-2, high, 3-2.
Walked upstairs, see if he could get him to chase. It is. I'll tell you, Jim, this doesn't feel like 90. It's just a spectacular
not at all. I was
evening.
surprised when I saw 90. bouncer foul, and it stays 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And you wonder sometimes, hey, maybe you're going to move up in that box because he's doing a great job, Peary, of even look at the foul balls, pounding, hitting that dirt in front of home.
Payoff, popped up, left field, almost right in the tracks there of Keegan Fogarty. And he waits and makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down here for Grant Peary. He now faces Layden Lawagi.
Hey, that's a fly ball, but the result was the hands dropped because the weight transfer out in front on that front foot, and that drops the hand under the ball. And you've seen that twice this inning already for this Blaine squad.
Caden Lawagi grounded to short back in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1 tonight. First pitch hits and lines it into center field for a base hit. So Lawagi picks up the hit, 2-out base runner here, 6th hit of the game for Blaine Lino Lakes, and that gets us to the top of their order.
Good knock, a chance to flip the lineup here for the 273 hitter, but he really was patient there and just tried to send it right up the middle. And he did just that. So now, see if they get a 2-out run, a 2-out chance here with Plankers.
Plankers has flied out twice, 0 for 2. Lines this one over the head of the third baseman Bauman, and that's into left field for a hit. Station to station. Lawagi stops at second. Plankers at first. Back-to-back 2-out hits for Blaine Lino Lakes. And Elijah Herrick will step to the plate here for Blaine Lino Lakes and a chance with 2 on.
You can tell they've chatted a bit in the dugout. This is the 3rd time through for, well, it was the 3rd time there for Plankers, and will be here for Herrick, who reached on a walk his first time up.
Herrick a walk and a strikeout, 0 for 1. Swings at the first one here and pops it up in the infield. Shortstop Lindgren to the left of the bag, makes the catch. So Blaine Lino Lakes retired. Grant Peary gets himself out of a mini 2-out jam there in the top of the 4th inning. For Blaine Lino Lakes, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 2 on, 3.5. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Blaine Lino Lakes and Andover in a tight one here, 2-0.
They will, and Andover gets a chance to revive it and get Teddy back up there and see what he can do as a leadoff hitter with his 2nd trip up tonight. But I'll tell you, it's 2 different pitchers, 2 different styles tonight for these teams. Enjoy watching both of them excel.
Blaine, earlier this week, they went up to Duluth. It was a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday tournament. They got the Monday and Tuesday games in. They defeated Duluth. They lost to Detroit Lakes, who ended up being proclaimed and announced as the champions because they went undefeated, even though they couldn't play the final round on Wednesday. And Blaine also lost to Proctor up there. Their other wins are coming in 3-7. So 1 win against Duluth. They defeated Rogers, and they defeated Spring Lake Park here so far this season. Meanwhile, for Andover, again, they're coming in with 3 wins as well, 3-10, 2-5. They have wins over Rogers and Spring Lake Park, 14-7 and 15-2. Scored a lot of runs in those games, and they have a non-league win as well. As they bat in the bottom of the 4th, looking for a couple here. Trailing it to 2-0 in the top of the order. Heller, Waters, Boynton, and Peary.
Heller coming in at about 270. Clip.
Struck out looking back in the first. 2nd plate appearance here for him. It's in the dirt. Ball 1, 1-0.
Chance here to see if Almberg rather, makes any pitches inside. I was just going to say coming inside because you could see Teddy kind of leaning out on that breaking pitch just over the plate.
2-0. Winters, Boynton, and then Peary, the new batters. Almberg got him to chase that. A lot of movement.
That's a tight spinner. Whoa, because that thing looks like it's a fastball coming at you, and then it just falls off that table.
2 balls, 1 strike. Heller bounced it to short. Nice gobble there by Plankers. On the run, the stretch, and that pulled Burnett off the bag. So Heller will reach. It'll be an error, pulling the first baseman off the bag. It was just a little bit offline. And despite the stretch, Heller gains first base.
But, you know, it's amazing when you have speed coming down that base path, the more pressure it puts on that throw. And I think that time probably saw him out of the corner of his eye and tried to expedite the ball there, shall we say, and it lifted on him. So
Winters Boynton struck out looking back in the first. Bats with the runner at first here in Andover, down 2-0. Aiden representing the tying run. Toss over to first. Heller back in.
Heller sitting over there, rare speed for a catcher at first base. And
the catcher can also play center field and other positions as well. This one hitting the left field, but it's going to be grabbed. Plankers will throw it over to first. They got another double play. Another line-out, throw-out double play. As Plankers caught that one, that was kind of a sinking line drive, and he caught it off his shoot tops, and he throws over to first to get Heller just like that, 2 outs.
Yeah, that ball looked like he was going to have more time to regroup, reverse direction, and get back to first, but tough to read off the bat that time, and a nice play by Plankers, who avenged that high throw and got the double play after a nice catch.
Peary bats. Nobody on, 2 down. First pitch swinging, popped up left side out of play.
Keep in mind, from Tuesday, Peary has some quick hands on those inside pitches. He had a triple and an RBI last Tuesday in the loss, but I remember those. He likes those inside pitches, even high-low, but he just loves to be able to unleash with those quick hands.
0-1. That one breaks away from Peary, and he takes it for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Squire bats here if Peary can get on. Peary popped out to second, 0 for 1 tonight. 1-1 delivery, fastball on the ground to short, Plankers, and this one gets away from him. And that'll find its way into left field, so Peary is safe. That'll be an error. Runner at first with 2 down.
A low hopper, pretty much carried about 3-4 hops before it got to short, and then off of Planker, it was in between the hop and went off the heel of his glove. So 2 outs, 1 on here for Andover.
And here's Squire. Has the lone base hit for Andover. He singled back in the second inning and then was doubled up on a line-out throw-out double play. And Squire will look at ball 1 here. 1-0 to Lucas Squire. Lindgren on deck if he can extend the inning. Burnett, the first baseman, holding over there with Peary, and Peary gets back.
Andover looks like they have some pitching warming up.
1-0 pitch. Low pitch, and he golfs it into left center field, and this is going to split the fielders. Cut off by the center fielder, Godfrey. Peary is going to jog into third, and Squire will be held to a single. Runner at the corners with 2 down. And now a great opportunity here for Reed Lindgren to get Andover on the board.
Well, and you know, Teddy probably would have been scoring on that easily. It had not been doubled up at first on the line drive. So 2 outs, a little spark, and see if they can break that goose egg and get one across.
So Peary reached on an error at third. Squire with the base hit at first. And here's Lindgren. Struck out back in the second inning, 0 for 1. See if there's a play on here for Andover first and third. Runner not going at first. And that just missed. Fastball to Lindgren, ball 1, 1-0.
I don't know if he's going to go here either.
1-0, high, 2-0.
He was kind of adjusting his glove if he came off first base, so it didn't appear he would go.
2 balls, no strikes.
Might be worth a throw over if I'm the Blaine pitcher.
First time in the game, Andover with 2 runners on. He shows bunt. That'll be a strike. And again, runners staying put. 2 balls and 1 strike. Andover got a run on in the second. They were 1, 2, 3 in the first and third, and now 2 on here. 2 outs in the fourth. Braylon Olmberg trying to keep it 2-0. Here's his set. 2-1 pitch. Missed outside. 3-1. Bauman on deck.
Not missing by much. And when you watch so much activity on that breaking pitch.
3 balls, 1 strike. Olmberg's delivery. It's a curveball, but it's outside. Ball 4, and they are loaded up here for Andover and for Matthew Bauman. First walk given up by Olmberg in the game tonight. And that'll call for a timeout. Catcher Reimringer out to have a chat with his pitcher. Quick little discussion here. They might be talking signs with the runner at second. They also might just be a little pep talk here, bases loaded, because all they need, if you're Blaine Lionel Lakes, all you need is an out, and you get out of it without any damage, as they'll face Matthew Bauman, who was part of that line-out, throw-out double play in the second inning to end the inning.
We mentioned the first time out, Bauman, 6-7 at bats this season.
Malmberg's first pitch, and again, that slider, he's trying to hit that outside corner, and he's been missing it here in the fourth innings. Hasn't been getting that call, and it's ball one.
And you got to remember, it's never your strike zone. It's the umpire's strike zone.
That is true. One ball. Pitchers forget that sometimes. One ball, no strikes, and fans as well. Pitches high. 2 balls and no strikes, unless, of course, you have the Fox box, and it's the Fox box, or whatever they call it now.
Yeah,
It was originally the Fox box because they're the ones who invented it. 2 balls, no strikes here to Bauman. The Almberg pitch comes with a fastball. That's a strike just above the knees. And a much-needed strike there for Braylon, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike with Eckes on deck. Bauman trying to get Andover on the board, down 2-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Almberg winds and delivers up and in. 3-1, nowhere to put Matthew Bauman.
And I'm guessing he's going to see dead red on this 3-1.
Working from the wind with the bases loaded. And the 3-1 pitch. This is hit well to left center. Center fielder moving over. He had it played perfectly. Godfrey was leaning towards left center. He was left of straightaway center field, and that put him in perfect position to catch that liner off the bat of Bauman. Close here for Andover, but no cigar. No runs across here. They leave 3 on with a hit. And we'll go to the 5th. Still 2-0. Blaine Lionel Lakes on QCTV Sports.
Even though we didn't grow up together, he's my favorite brother.
Hey, sis.
I'm the baby of the family, and he's the gentle giant.
What you know about Port Georgia?
Man, please, that's a classic.
You know when they say people are a rare breed? Yeah, he's that.
I'm sorry, I'll be back in a few hours.
Don't worry, Shug. You know I'm for you.
I know.
Go get the football.
That was my favorite memory. He was always for ya. This is a true story of me, Bridget Floyd, and this guy, George Perry Floyd Jr., my big brother.
And we're back at Andover. How disappointing would it be if you were a bird and you show up here at a baseball park, any baseball park, and you see all these sunflower seeds on the bleachers? You see them everywhere.
Yeah.
And they go and they search and all the seeds are gone. It's just shells.
Yeah.
How disappointing would that be if you're a songbird, if you're a cardinal or a blue jay or a robin? Joe, can you put that into words? It'd be like going to a buffet and the thing is empty.
Command, conviction.
Right. the 2 C's for the bird.
I was thinking of this. That's like going into the rough and finding about a dozen Pro V golf balls.
Right, and they've all been hit by the mower.
Oh, well, true.
Very tantalizing, very taunting, but then at the end, very disappointing with no satisfaction. So Blaine Lionel Lakes in the top of the 5th inning. Almberg, who had struck out twice, he makes contact here in an infield ground out. Now the 2 umpires are going to have a conferee, and we'll see what they're discussing here. We have one out.
Tom Zinselmeyer had probably suggested, was it catcher interference maybe?
I was too busy commenting on the sunflower seeds to actually see the play.
You were just planting the seeds.
Yes. Avian commentary, and they're going to say he was safe.
And I think it was, I don't know if we get another look at that swing, if it was catcher interference.
Yeah, did the bat make contact with the catcher's glove?
Because I didn't see anything at first that made me think there was a miscue there.
And if that is, that goes as an error on the catcher. I think. It's not I don't think it's a base hit. But regardless, we know that Blaine Lionel Lakes, instead of having it out, they've got a runner at first, Almberg, and the batter is Lucas Godfrey. RBI double and a walk in the first and the 3rd inning.
Yeah, Huskies put up, Blaine put up a crooked number 2 in that first inning and have been shut out since.
0-1 here to Godfrey. That one misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Godfrey coming into the game, leading this team in hitting and numerous
10
statistical
RBIs.
categories. 379, 11 at bats, or 11 hits and 29 at bats. 1 ball, 1 count to him, and that pitch and throw over to first. Schrepfer gets by him, and the runner is going to move up.
He's going to go take another base.
And he's going to go to third.
That ball, when
looks
he
like we
released
got
it,
Derek Schloman who's running over there. So Schloman is running in place of Almberg. Number 5 on the base paths, and he's the one who advances. So a two-base error on the throw, the pickoff attempt from the pitcher Grant Peary.
and it all started with,
What they thought was an out.
yes, I'll get a confirmation here also. I'll check it out here between innings. But, you go from 1 out, no one on.
2-1
Good
pitch, and that one drops off the table, and Godfrey swings and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Godfrey and then Richmond here for Blaine Lionel Lakes, leading it 2-0 already in the top of the 5th on a warm Thursday evening. That curveball in the dirt. Now full, 3-2.
Beautiful block that time by Teddy Heller, preventing a run from scoring. That thing bounced in front of the plate, and sometimes you're not sure with a spinner like that which way it's going to go.
The payoff is low, ball 4. Runners at the corners and nobody out.
I got to say, I don't disagree with that pitch, because you got to think maybe he'll take a swing at it, but yet you don't want to throw that type of hitter.
Third walk of the game given up here by Grant Peary. And Blaine has a no-out first and third situation for Michael Richmond, who's been on base twice. Reaching an air, and he singled in his last at bat. Squares the bunt.
Barrel
and it's
head
off
down.
his bat and back to the screen. 1 strike.
A missing art in Major League Baseball. I think it's an art, because I used to call it the power of the bunt.
Do they even
Make people
practice
move.
bunting anymore? I don't even know if they do that.
I'm not sure if they get a bonus for bunting. I think they get merits taken away.
0-1.
And
when you strike out as often as the Twins do, maybe they should just bunt all the time. At least make contact, for crying out loud. They paid for bats. Why not use them? I mean, they pay good money for those bats, Joe. If you're just waving, the Twins, when they strike out, I saw less waving when the Titanic left. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Low in the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike here to Michael Richmond.
Last at bat, you saw a pitch by Peary. I liked the pitch because it was back towards that back right foot, because you're trying to induce that ground ball to an excellent hitter, Godfrey.
2-1 delivery, sharply hit to the left side, backhanded Lindgren at short. He'll have 1 play at first. He'll get the out there, and the run will score. So Schloman, who's running for Almberg, and then a throw down to third as Godfrey tried to advance. What happened there? We do have the run in. It's 3-0 Blaine Lionel Lakes, and Godfrey's down on the bag at third.
Taking a couple extra. He didn't slide, and of course the coach at third was telling him to get down.
But he was safe.
Yep, and I think he maybe just took a bad step.
I
and
think
finally
he jammed his foot a little bit in there. It looks like he's okay. So Godfrey over at third. Batter is Torrey Barsness for Blaine Lionel Lakes. And he'll take in the dirt, ball 1.
So I was listening to the interview with Paul Molitor about what his read on and what his thoughts are on all the strikeouts, because they had talked about a couple of his seasons just off the top, over 650 at-bats, say, in one of his seasons, and 70 strikeouts on the season.
Well.
And he's like, there's just seems like less remorse when players come back to that dugout.
1-1 pitch. It's up high, 2-1. We're probably going to have players for the Twins this year. They're going to strike out more this season than Tony Gwynn did his entire career. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Barsness. Again, Barsness, a single and an RBI, his 5th RBI of the season back in the first, and he grounded to third in the third. 2-1 delivery, and he fights it off to the right. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, I think they have some issues, too, with people and myself understanding that there's value in a strikeout, right? So
there is.
We don't want to hit into a double play. That's how Molitor was saying that my issue
I suppose.
is I still have trouble.
I've never heard of that.
That they feel that there's
changed thought. That pitch is up high, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
That they can pick up and the value of not bouncing into a double play or what have you. He goes, that's an analytic. He said, I still struggle with.
On the ground, wide of third and foul, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The other thing is that nobody changes their approach depending on the count. Nobody, okay, I'm going to choke up on the bat now and just make contact and slap it the other way or whatever. They're just always going up there trying to make the big contact, get the big swing, get the launch angle and all that, and that's 3-2 pitch, and there's a called strike 3. What a dandy by Peary as he sneaks it across. Barsness down looking, 2 down.
Almost hypnotized him watching that thing come in the back door. A lot of speed, but some great movement.
Seth Burnett now with the runner at third, a run in, and he hits it in the air to left. Lazy fly ball. Fogarty towards the line, makes a catch, and Peary ends the inning. Blaine Lino Lakes does get a run across. They get a run without the benefit of a hit. There was an error, and they leave a runner at third as we move on to the bottom of the 5th. 4.5. Blaine Lino Lakes adding to their lead, 3-0.
And Peary, unearned run here in this inning, and he's gone 5 and been impressive. He has shut down a couple of their hitters, hitting 370, 380, over 300, and he has stymied most of this Blaine Lino Lakes Legion squad here through the first 5 innings. But Huskies need to get something on the board, because I'll tell you, this, with Allenberg, he looks like the type of pitcher that just gets stronger as the game gets longer.
Bottom of the 5th for Andover, Eckes, Schrepfer, and Butler. This is really uncanny here. We have played, now we're going to the bottom of the 5th. This will be the second time of the game that the due batters for Andover, 7, 8, 9, bottom third of their order. That's happened twice already here in the game for Blaine Lino Lakes. Now, I don't know if that is odd or anything. I find that odd. I think it's a little quirky here as we have the bottom third due, 7, 8, 9, Eckes, Schrepfer, and Butler for Andover. Now looking up at the scoreboard at a 3-0 deficit.
Got it. And speaking of some quirky numbers all along the board, do you see a chance that I was going to go and intro that in with a different hockey stat, but I'll come back with that. But last night, the NHL draft, and Jim, your experience calling for St. Cloud State, the Huskies, the voice there. You call the games for the Minnesota State High School League and the state tournament as well with Lou Nanny. And what's your thoughts on the Wild selection?
Well, they got a big center in Charlie Strammel, as Eckes is the leadoff man here, and he fouls it off. And, of course, we keep hearing that the Wild, they need a center, and they've got a number of centers that they've added to the organization. They're just not ready to help the big club yet.
Just a minute, but Keegan Fogarty, I think, is pinch hitting here, or at least hitting right now in place of him. So
yep, Fogarty is hitting here in place of Deacon Eckes.
But you're right.
Fogarty bats left. First pitch a strike, second one a ball, 1-1.
Yeah, they needed a center who could win those draws, and some felt like the center that the Rangers took was probably the better selection.
And this is inside, 2-1. When did the Rangers pick?
I think it was 1 or 2 spots after them.
Yeah. Well, they wanted the local kid
out
of Rosemont.
Yeah.
Playing at the University of Wisconsin, the U.S. National Development Team.
And from the
I don't know, it's mixed. You pick somebody 21, 23rd, you don't know. It wasn't that deep of a draft. After the top 10 or so, even after the top 3, it's really a crapshoot in the NHL draft this year. A 3-1 pitch that is fouled into the glove of the catcher Reimringer. 3 balls and 2 strikes, and everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody's going to think this guy's better than that guy. You don't know. You just don't know. And, you make the best choice that you can, really. 3 balls and 2 strikes, ball 4. And it's up high. Fogarty pinch hitting here for Deacon Eckes. Able to work a walk. He'll head to first, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Bryce Schrepfer.
Schrepfer short, bounced to short, I believe, his first time up. But also at St. Cloud State, they had a player selected there, correct?
Yeah, a player that is not yet with the team probably is going to be here, a big winger. Will probably be with the team in the fall. I really don't know. I don't wait. I don't worry until the season starts. I don't even know the guy's name. He's out of Ontario. I know that. And he was picked in the 6th or 7th round, one of the later rounds.
Well, I always enjoy listening to you and Lou, and
We find a way to make it entertaining. There's a swing and a miss on the 0-1 pitch. It's 0-2 here to Schrepfer.
Boy, he took a lot off that pitch and got the movement on that. Perfect location.
He's the first baseman, 0 for 1 tonight, grounded to short. Runner at first is Fogarty. Holding with him Burnett, the 0-2. Misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I was thinking of hockey when we were covering the state tournament game, quarterfinal, CHS Field. I think at least 5 of the players for Edina were on their hockey team.
Yeah, especially Nevers.
Yeah.
Who was obviously he has a father, Tommy Nevers, who could have played collegiately, I think, in 3 sports.
Correct.
1 ball and 2 strikes here. Almberg to Schrepfer. Big curveball, swing and a miss.
1 word, 2 syllables, filthy. That was a filthy breaking pitch.
5th strikeout for Almberg. And that's what you can do when you get ahead of guys in the count, is you can come with that pitch. You really get a look here from our center field camera. Look at this. Loop. 12-6. Good luck hitting that.
And just taking a lot off of that.
Here's Butler. Toss to first.
You got to get through that freeze. Sometimes that pitch can lock you up. And then when it's time to swing, it's already by you. But nice pitching. For Almberg, is that 6 strikeouts?
Bouncer to the right side, first baseman Burnett. And Almberg, nice textbook play over there to cover. And that's 2 down.
That'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Teddy Heller.
5 strikeouts in the game here now for Almberg. And we go to the top of the order, and Teddy Heller, who understand is a enthusiastic bass fisherman. Likes to fish for bass in the area lakes. And is quite good at it from what I understand as he bats here. 0 for 2 tonight, struck out looking, reaching an air. That one gets away from the catcher Reimringer.
You know, the high school football teams also this year have been really putting on the 7-on-7s that have been going on. They have
That's
it
a
up
big deal.
in Andover. And Teddy, I understand, had a couple of TD receptions the other night.
Fogarty's moved his way down to third. He moved to second on the ground out, and then the wild pitch there ends up at third. 1-0 to Heller. Big cut and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike.
That was that slider, because it looks like that fastball. Tough to pick up that spin or that red dot. And he swung over the top of it.
And it's a 1-1 pitch. Bounce towards third, foul. 1-2. Yeah, the kid that was drafted that's going to be a future Husky hockey player is Warren Clark. He is, like I said, out of Ontario.
I'm sorry, did you say Warren Peace?
Warren Clark.
Okay.
No Tolstoy references here.
So Warren Clark.
1 ball, 2 strikes. From Riverside, Ontario, drafted by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Grounded at third. Herrick bobbles it, juggles it. Everybody's going to be safe, and Andover finds themselves on the board.
Hey, and getting that walk, first at bat by Fogarty, and leading off the inning, they just kind of manufacture their way in.
Just had
I like that tilt on that.
Go.
I was thinking about getting that filter that you have sometimes, you know, on a laptop on a flight where you're trying to do some work.
Oh, for our monitor?
So,
that would be luxurious.
So I may have to bring mine next time. See, and that
you
helps.
have one?
Yes.
Wow. You have luxuries that I can only dream of, Joe. 1 strike the count here for Aiden Winters-Bounton. Andover is on the board. Winters-Bound, a strikeout and a line-out, part of a line-out throw-out double play. Runners at first. He goes, bounce to short. Plankers with a chance here. Oh, and he bobbled it. Stop, throws. Did he still get him? No. That'll be E6. And this is an area that, talking before the game to Blaine head coach Tom Zinselmeyer, this was an issue that they have been concerned about, an issue that has hurt them. They have been in every game. They have battled other teams, but then they've made mistakes in the field, and that has given the teams that they've been facing extra outs. That's 4 errors here in the last 2 innings here for Blaine, and that extends the inning here for Andover as they bring up Grant Peary, the pitcher, and he takes ball 1.
And you could see that time Planker was on his heels. That ball kind of came back, and so then he tried to short hop it on that second.
Kind of in between hops there. As the
And if
catcher Reimringer is going to call time. He's got something in his eye.
As you're always kind of leaning in as that fielder, and that momentum takes you to the ball. And sometimes it's that old sire thing, don't let the ball play you. But that case, you could tell he was on his heels. So when it took that bounce and it's short, it kind of went off the tip of his glove. And let's see if the Huskies can capitalize.
Peary tonight flied to second, reached on an error last inning. He represents the go-ahead run here, first and second. Andover batting in the bottom of the fifth. He goes the other way to left, and it's going to hang up, though. And the left fielder, Luwagi, playing him perfect again. Boy, the outfield positioning has been outstanding with the left-handed hitter at the plate. They sweep and move Luwagi back towards left center, and he was right there to make the catch. That retires Peary. That retires Andover here in the bottom of the fifth. But they get a run. 1 run, no hits. A couple of errors. They leave 2 on. And it's 3-1 Blaine Lionel Lakes as we've played 5 here on QCTV Sports.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
And you can see the sunshine basking the high school baseball field here at Andover High School. You see the school in the background and fans enjoying their time here. As we move on to the 6th inning, top of the 6th, and Blaine Lionel Lakes holding on to a 3-1 lead. Andover getting on the board, and from the scene of the report here is Joe. And Joe, did you get an explanation of that leadoff at bat back in the 5th inning?
Yeah, a pulled foot.
Almberg.
It was. I thought it was catcher interference. He said it's his call at home, and he first baseman or the ump called it out. He had another look. He could see that he pulled it.
Mm-hmm.
The coach asked him, take another look at that. Can
After
I get
further
opinion?
Review.
And he said, I just happen to have the angle on that.
So pulled foot. That still goes as an error, though, so that run will still be unearned. It's just
so we can no longer blame Teddy Heller.
No.
So we'll have to release that.
Move to the top of the 6th inning. Will reverse his conviction, and that pitch is popped up to short. Lindgren.
That's exactly right.
Is there to make the catch here for Skylar Reimringer, leading it off. And in inning number 6.
Looks like Bryce Schrempfer is now pitching.
Yeah, Bryce Schrempfer on the mound in relief of Grant Peary.
Pitched some in high school this year, series of innings, and comes inside there.
So the line on Peary, he goes 5 innings, 3 runs, just 1 earned. Gives up 6 hits, struck out 4, walked 3. As he goes the first 5 innings, he's the pitcher of record. And now Schrempfer is in there on the mound as he's ready to work here to the number 9 hitter for Blaine Lionel Lakes.
I'd like to know that pitch count for Peary, because I'm telling you, he was looking effortlessly up there when he was throwing. It was just at ease.
Fastball in the dirt.
Almost throwing like he was at a country club.
So Reimringer retired, and we also have Plankers who's due up now, and he's stepping up, 1 down.
First look at Bryce here for these hitters.
Runner goes, tossed down, and it's not in time.
Good idea. Hey, you could see that he was stretching, trying to get an extra step now with a right-handed pitcher versus Peary, the southpaw. on the mound the previous 5 innings for Andover. So
Winters Boynton, who is the DH, he is now in at first. And here's the pitch to Plankers, and it's a called strike to him. 2 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 score. Runner at second. Blaine, Lionel Lakes, top of the 6th, looking for some insurance. The Schrepfer pitch rolled to short. Lindgren's got it, plants and throws. And the out recorded at first, 2 down.
Just got him. Pace of that ball sure slows down going through that infield. And if you're not charging someone with some speed or quasi-speed might be able to beat that throw. And that ball almost did there.
So the Blaine Lionel Lakes runner down to third. Runner 90 feet away. A little bit of insurance here for Elijah Herrick. Walk, strikeout, and a pop out to short. First pitch swinging, and this is over the mound. And another shortstop chance here for Lindgren. Throws it in the dirt, but a nice pick by Winters Boynton at first. And that ends the inning here for Blaine Lionel Lakes. They threaten, but they come up empty here in the top of the 6th. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Go to the bottom of the 6th, and we've got ourselves a 3-1 score.
Yes, sirree, heading it up here, and we talk about hockey, but hey, it's certainly the Andover Husky boys squad has certainly had a few good seasons, the past few, and
as have the girls.
Absolutely, absolutely. And who can forget about that Blaine win at the state tournament with what, 1 or 2 lines that one year? What year was that? Do you remember, Jim?
No, I don't.
That was.
They kind of all run together.
Oh, that was
after a while, to be honest.
And be good. So it is a gorgeous night. Certainly no hockey. Spent a little time at a rink today over at the Coon Rapids Ice Arena.
Well, if you want some natural air conditioning.
It was all steamy inside.
Oh, I mean, it was really?
Oh, God, yeah, it was.
Even that big chunk of ice, that 100 or 200 by 85 block of ice right in the middle, not enough to battle the 90-degree heat, huh? We'll see Andover in the bottom of the 6th. Squire, Lindgren, and Bauman, the 2 batters. We'll see what they can do here. It's a 2-run game, very much in reach here, the Andover Bats. They just got to find a way to figure out Braylon Ulmberg, who has been very good here. The only run he has given up was an unearned run back in the 5th inning.
Wind even a little less than when we started.
First pitch to Squire, bounce towards short, over to grab at Plankers, and we have 1 out.
See, now that was great footwork, right? I'm a big foundation and footwork when it comes to fielding and squaring up, because I just think that unleashes everything else. The cadence of the field, the glove work, nice job on that play at short there by Plankers.
Squire retired for the first time tonight. He had each of the 2 hits. Andover has 2 hits, and he had both of them. Lindgren bats, strike 1.
There's that 12-6 breaking ball.
Braylon Ulmberg has certainly impressed us with his array and his repertoire. 1 strike pitch. There's another one. Swung through it, 0-2.
A little tighter spin again. Just tough to get a read on it. I don't know why. They never called mine a tight spin. I think they call it a lollipop curveball.
Ephus pitch, I think it's Here's the 0-2, and that misses in the dirt. Couldn't get him to chase. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lindgren, a strikeout and a walk. Left on base in the 4th inning.
See if he brings a fastball kind of inside, on the inside part of the plate here.
1-2. Nope. Another breaking ball. Boy. Tried to sneak it on the outside corner and just missed. Good eye by Lindgren. It's 2-2.
And the umpire hasn't necessarily given him that pitch all night. That's why I thought maybe he may just dart a fastball inside.
2-2 offering fastball this time, and that misses off the outside part of the plate. 3-2. Full count to Lindgren with Bauman on deck here for the Andover Legion. Payoff to short again. Plankers will charge on the grass, throws on the run, 2 down. Plankers a good, smooth fielding shortstop here. He's had an error last inning. But the last couple of plays have been nifty, and that'll bring up Bauman here with 2 down and nobody on in the 6th.
And part of that may be the fact, hey, just being active, getting the footwork moving, because the one error he did have, it was on those heels. Maybe misread the ball, but anyway, it kind of took over and attacked him versus him attacking that ground ball.
Here's the Almberg pitch. First pitch here to Bauman. Another one just absolutely frozen was Bauman. 1 strike, and Braylon Almberg right now is on the top of his game. I mean, he's got the Andover hitters kind of in the palm of his hand with the way he's changing speeds, mixing the fastball, curveball, slider. There's another one, 0-2.
And see, that time it looks like he came back with a good heater that time, good velo down low at the knees, and he got the call.
2 down, nobody on, and an 0-2 pitch to Bauman. In the air to left, moving towards the line, Luagi there, makes the catch, 3 up, 3 down. That's the 3rd time this game that Almberg has sent Andover down in order. Quietly here, 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. We go to the 7th with 6 full, complete here in Andover Legion Baseball. Blaine, Lino Lakes 3, Andover 1 here on QCTV Sports.
Hi. Can I get the now bar, please?
No problem. $1.
Have a good one.
Got it.
Hi, can I get a now bar, please? Uh-huh.
$1.
Thanks.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey.
Hey, let me get a now bar.
Sure. $1.
Appreciate you.
You got it.
How's it going? Can I get a now bar?
Hey, stop right there! Get down on the ground out of your car right get down! Over your head! Now!
Hey, how about it? Joe and Jim here. Beautiful sunshiny Thursday evening at Andover Baseball Field at Andover High School. We cruise on into the 7th. Happy early 4th of July to everybody. 4th of July weekend. I bet you some people have already started their celebration and their weekend fun. Making it for a long, nice long weekend. Maybe a 6-day little vacation. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Do you think
Nothing wrong
Teddy
with that.
Haller's going to do some bass fishing?
I bet he
over the
will.
4th weekend?
1 strike here. Braylon Almberg, the pitcher, starts it off. Boy, he's been good on the mound here, and he tries to start out his Blaine Lino Lakes club here with maybe a hit, get on base here somehow, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike. Schrepfer, who started the game at first, is now on the mound and delivers a strike there with a fastball. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
His 2nd inning of duty.
Schrepfer in relief of Grant Peary went the first 5 innings. Popped up left side of the infield. Bauman's going to have a look, and it looks like he has room. He's in on the warning track and makes the catch before the fence. 1 out.
All right, we'll see if Blaine can pick up a insurance run here, but certainly the right guy at the plate to get that going for him.
Yeah, Lucas Godfrey. He's been on 3 times. RBI double, his team leading 10th in the first, and then a couple of walks. So he has been productive, and he takes here 1 ball, no strikes with Michael Richmond on deck. And if you're wondering for Andover in the top of the 7th, guess what? Bottom of the order, 7, 8, and 9. As we mentioned before, it's just been uncanny. That's happened twice for Blaine, and it'll be the 3rd time for Andover that the 7th batter, Seth Burnett, has led off an inning. Godfrey, 2 balls and no strikes, and that hit him. Schrepfer came in a little too tight that time, and Godfrey hit by a pitch. He goes to first.
Hey, sometimes you do have to kind of pound that inside strike zone, not pound the player, but sometimes you want to back them off a bit, come back with that breaking pitch. And, hey, that just happens on the component. A lot of pitchers try to stay away from that inside part of the plate, but when you throw inside, you also prevent that player from extending those arms. So
Godfrey at first, Richmond the batter. Blaine with 8 hits, 3 runs on 8 hits here in this one here. And I think we've got a pinch hitter here, don't we? What number is that?
we're looking right into that sun.
Yeah. And that pitch is going to be a ball low.
Is that
2 balls and no strikes.
16?
It's supposed to be Richmond.
I think
He's
it's
20.
16. I think it's Cinchi.
Yep.
Manny
Cinchi.
Good location.
Yeah, on the outside corner here from Schrepfer.
It's tough to hit a fastball. Doesn't make it earn that velo when it's that outside part of the plate and knee high. Good location.
Cinchi, the pinch hitter here, hitting .222 for Blaine. Swings and misses, evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Manny Cinchi, 9 at-bats, 2 hits in his 9 at-bats. No runs batted in. Mentioned hitting .222, getting a pinch hit appearance here. Cinchi with a 2-2 count to him. Goes the other way with an inside-out swing, and Eckes trying to dive his way for the catch in right field. It's going to land in there for a hit. Cinchi's going to end up going to second. It'll be a double, and runners will be at second and third here for Blaine Lino Lakes in a successful pinch hitting appearance here by Cinchi. He's on at second as he gets a double.
Yeah, I think a breaking pitch there, outside part of the plate. If I could take another look at that. And kicked it just the end of the bat, just beyond the reach of the right fielder.
I think that's Peary out in right field now. I think that's 11. It's hard to tell. Might be 17.
Got to be, I see a glove on the left hand.
Yep, that's
you
right.
and I are looking into that.
Might be a
sun coming right at us.
Could be when he plays the field, he switches his hands, his glove hand. It'll pop up. That'll be into shallow right field. That'll score a run. Here comes Godfrey in. The throw gets away from the catcher, and then the other run will come in to score. So back-to-back runs here for Blaine. Godfrey and then Cinchi. And Blaine Lino Lakes getting some insurance here. It is 5-1.
Couple of balls, almost the last one, maybe a little bit of an approach shot that drops in front of the right fielder.
It's Lucas Squire now in right field, by the way.
Thought he might have some juice on that throw and catch.
And we're going to get a timeout.
The runner was kind of waiting there at third because he wanted to make sure wasn't caught.
Noah Belschner, who is interim head coach here tonight for Andover, will have a meeting on the mound and the entire infield there. And Blaine Lino Lakes with some big insurance for them here in the top of the 7th, making it 5-1.
Yeah, and you know what? Good time out here by Belschner to make a visit just to kind of calm it down because Bryce was throwing well, had a couple strikes there, and one pitch punched out to right. And then the next pitch as well gets beyond the right fielder, and some activity begins, and now 2 runs in. Just want to go out there and let them know, hey, you're throwing the ball well. Let's just play some defense behind him.
So an RBI for Barsness knocks a run in, and then Cinchi comes in on the throwing error to home plate, and the batter here is Seth Burnett. He swings at the first one, and what happened at third? Like they got him. Bauman with a tag, and Barsness is going to be called out. That'll be the second out of the inning.
Maybe they caught it on the camera if he was on a baseline, if he thought he had to reach, or he actually got a piece of him on a tag at third. But nonetheless, 2 down now here, and Blaine has extended that lead, as I mentioned, Jim, to 3-1 to 5-1.
Couple of runs in. 2 down now. First baseman Seth Burnett. Fastball. Just above the knees, 1 strike.
But see, I like that pitch. Just kind of ran up inside, kind of jammed up, locks up on that elbow area.
In the dirt, runner's going to sneak over, and there's the throw, and it's not in time. That's actually Burnett. He's the one at first. He moves to second. Blaine doesn't have their numbers on the front. It's hard to tell. Sun's in her eyes. There's dust. We're going to blame it on Canadian smoke.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here's the pitch by Schrepfer, and that's up high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Batter is Reimringer. 1 for 3. That's smoked to short. Played clearly by Lindgren. He'll throw to first, and that'll all be Blaine. They're down here in the top of the 7th, but 2 big insurance runs here for Blaine Lionel Lakes. Couple of runs, couple of hits, couple of left on. Bottom of the 7th coming up, and it's 5-1 Blaine Lionel Lakes.
Got it, and you know what? It just seems like the summer gets up and go right after the 4th of July weekend. And what are your plans, Jim? Golf?
Fluid.
Nice.
Up in the air, game time decision. Not
I thought
sure.
you meant.
Probably going to smoke some meat.
Nice.
We'll play some golf. I got to work on Monday. Take a look at the upcoming QCTV broadcast schedule.
Hey, look at that. Perfect timing. Shirts and Skins. And the Draw concert on the 6th. Meanwhile, Family Fun Festival Parade. I believe Jim Childs and I will be calling that parade. And then it's Legion Baseball, Anoka at Andover. And that'll be on the 11th. And on the 13th, it's St. Michael at Champlin.
And then that's the end of the season.
It is.
Final games of the regular season in the North Hennepin League occur on the 13th, I think. It's the 12th, 13th, 14th, somewhere in that vicinity.
Of course, the signature tournament for Legion coming up as well this weekend. And
the weekend after the July 4th holiday, you'll have
Gopher Classic.
Gopher Classic. Blaine is playing in that. They're going to be at Minnetonka beginning July 7th, so they'll be part of the Gopher Classic. Is Andover
They are not in it.
They are not in that, but 52 teams? It's
Yes.
a rather large field,
Coach
52 or
said,
54.
Just not the arms right now, and of course they've had to call up several guys who they were going to have the VFW team. That's where they would have been playing, but depth and that is a key here, Legion ball, summertime, but Gopher Classic. I'm going to jump over to Anoka and catch a couple of games.
Well, Castle Field, perfect venue for that, certainly. Bottom third of the order for Andover. They need 4 runs here to extend this game as they move to the bottom of the 7th.
I was talking about going to Greenhaven, and then I'm kidding. I just said Anoka.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And then maybe getting to a Castle Field.
Swing.
All right.
And a miss here.
It is. It's Fogarty who reached on a walk. His first at bat of this game.
Yep.
Came around and scored the lone run.
Fogarty playing in left field, then was being DH'd for, and then back in the 5th inning at his first plate appearance, he walked back in the 5th, and Deacon Eckes, who started the game in right field, struck out looking back in the 3rd. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Fogarty. Breaking ball, good eye.
I think 15 games will be played at Castle.
That field will get a workout.
It will, and one of the teams, Nebraska team, is the one I'd like to kind of see. Also some of the other teams from around here, but it's just an enjoyable kind of a great atmosphere, environment.
2-1, swing and a miss. 2-2.
Getting set here, though. There's not even a ripple on a leaf out there on the trees. And
just a little breeze in our face, which feels just fine. Summer breeze makes Joe and I feel fine.
You got a little high cheese.
Blowing
Speaking
through
of
the jasmine.
Finer wine, but
and not only that's just jasmine. We say that was some jasmine there from Olmberg as he blew it past Fogarty with a strikeout. 1 down here in the inning, and strikeout number 6 for Braylon Olmberg. He came in with 9 in 10 innings pitched, and he has 6 here in 6 1/3.
Yeah, he walked the ladder there on Fogarty to get the strikeout. Comes back with that filthy breaking pitch.
Bryce Schrepfer fouls it off, 1 strike. Schrepfer started the game at first, now doing the pitching. Grounded to short, struck out. 0 for 2.
Yeah, Bryce saw one of those filthy breaking pitches his last time up.
Popped up foul straight back. 0-2. Kellen Butler's on deck.
And if you watched, he's changed his approach as Olmberg, because he was throwing a lot of curveballs, gets a strike, and comes back, another curveball.
Another pitch on the outside corner. 3-pitch strikeout. Back-to-back strikeouts here. Impressive by Braylon Olmberg. That's his 7th of the game.
He really dotted the corner with that fastball, and that's what he came back with. He was getting a little frustrated. He wasn't getting that breaking pitch. on the outside part of the plate, finally adjusted to how the umpire was calling the game, and he's been throwing BBs on the outside dot.
And Almberg delivers to Butler. First pitch on the ground. Plankers plays it over to first in time, and that's the game. A 1-2-3 inning. Almberg retiring the last 7 men that he faced. He gets Butler here on the ground out to short. And his 1-2-3 fourth 3-up-3 inning of the game. And that ends the game here for a victory for Blaine Lino Lakes. Andover goes down in order, 1-2-3. Almberg gets the win, complete game victory, 7 innings. Just the 1 run that was unearned, gave up just 2 hits. Struck out 7, walked 1, improves his record to 2-0. And Braylon Almberg, very impressive tonight, Joe.
He was, just mixed it up. Fastball, slider, and a good off-speed breaking pitch as well, 12-6. And you think about it, Blaine actually scored their game-winning run in that first inning. 2 runs in that first inning.
Pretty much.
And he held them at bay, at least Andover, the remainder of the game and threw out.
Grand Prairie takes the loss, pitched 5 innings, 3 runs, 1 earned, 6 hits, struck out 4, walked 3, and then Trepfer came in and gave up 3 runs in the game here today. So your final score here tonight with the Blaine Lino Lakes Legion picking up their 4th win of the season, 4-7, 3-5 in North Hennepin League play. Andover going to 3-11, 2-6 in league play. Your final here tonight. Blaine Lino Lakes 5, Andover 1. For everybody in the truck, all of our crew, for Joe Rulin, I'm Jim Erickson. You've been watching Legion Baseball here on QCTV Sports.